Hello everyone. I am recording this early because all of my children, today is their last day of school for Christmas break. So, Kim, are you coming up? Kim, you coming up? There you are. And I want to get it recorded before all the chaos and everything else, so that way, you know, you guys don't have too much noise. But it turns out that Pennsylvania Department of Transportation is, I guess, replacing guardrails right behind my house. So we have that lovely, obnoxious noise, but there's not really much I can do about that. We are stitching on, let me see if I have it here. I do. Mirabilia. Goddess Garden, right? Yep, Goddess Garden. This is what we're stitching on today. I just recently started this. So, I am going to be stitching on it, and thankfully it's pretty much some pretty good block stitching. Abigail had her, they call it their Christmas concert, and it has the orchestra from our school district, band from our school district, choir, jazz band, and all of that in it. At the end of this video, I'll probably put in her concert, so if you want to watch it, you can. She had to sit for her portion. She's in choir. She's in the junior high choir. Actually, this is their last year in junior high choir. Then she moves to senior high choir. And because of her knee, she had to sit. Damon had his CT scan. Today's the 21st, so the 19th, Damon had his CT scan, and Abby also went to her knee doctor that day, and, it'll probably be a week or so before we hear back from Damon's doctor to find out what's going on there, and then, why is this sagging so much? It's because this isn't tight. I recorded my whip parade yesterday, so I had to take all this stuff off and move everything around, and now everything's not... Oh, I had one heck of a mess yesterday, too. But anyways, so it'll probably be a week or two before we hear back from Damon's doctor on what's going on there. What is happening here? There we go. And see about things like that. And then, as for Abby's knee doctor, she is getting an MRI done. They haven't called me yet to make the appointment, and I'm pretty annoyed with this office at this point. But, he checked her knee out and everything, and I guess, he's not sure if the fall did anything that she had last Friday, which would have been on, like, the 15th? Was that the 15th? She fell on the 15th. I think that's what date it was. And, he's not sure if that fall did anything, but when he was filling the tendons in her knee, I guess there's a tendon in the front part of your knee, like if this is your kneecap and this is your so kneecap, kneecap, and then your lower leg bone, because I can't think of what it's called right now. I guess there's a tendon that sits like right here that connects to that lower bone and then onto your kneecap. Like when you extend your, like when you have your knee bent, it's soft, but when you straighten it out, it's hard. Like it feels like a rock in there, like it's another bone, but it's actually a tendon. And he had her straighten her leg out, and hers is like mashed potatoes. And he's concerned with that because it shouldn't be like that at all, and he's not sure if it's just from weakness from not using that leg and not essentially exercising that muscle, or if it's because she injured it badly and nobody caught it. So he ordered an MRI, and I'm still waiting for his office to call me, and I'm pretty gosh darn frustrated with this office because 5 weeks ago, I think it's almost 6 weeks ago now, they called and they canceled her appointment on us because the doctor wasn't going to be in. He had to go and do rounds with patients at the hospital. No big deal. But they were supposed to call me back and schedule her an appointment. Well, they never did. And that was on a Wednesday that they called me. So I had waited until Monday to call. And I called Monday and left a message. Didn't get a call back. And according to the recording, they'll call you back within 24 hours. So Tuesday, when it was 24 hours after I called the office again, left a message, didn't get anything. Called again Wednesday, left a message, didn't get anything. So Thursday, I was determined, like, I'm going to call every gosh darn second until someone answers this dang phone to get her back in. Because at that point, she was supposed to go every 2 weeks to have that increased so that way she could bend her leg, bend her knee more and more. But it wasn't happening, and it wasn't happening, and it had been 3 weeks since she had been seen. And then I finally got a hold of them, and the soonest appointment they had was 2 weeks out. So it was 5 weeks of her being stuck at one adjustment when she should actually be almost 3 adjustments ahead of what she was. And that's what happened Tuesday with her going down there, was me being persistent and calling and everything else. But my husband forgot to tell him because her knee doctor has been having trouble with his office staff, and he's very particular about the way his office is run. So I wanted to let him know, like, what happened, and, like, it's not our fault that she's this far behind, because he's very passionate about the work he does. And so, you know, he gets kind of upset, not in like a bad way, more like, you know, he's passionate about his work. He wants the best absolute care for his patients. And so I wasn't able to go down to that appointment. My husband had to take her down because I had Vincent, and his gram was picking him up at 4, and her appointment was at 2:45. And again, the appointment is 30 minutes away from our house. So it wasn't like, I couldn't be 2 places at once. So he just called me on the phone so that way I could hear what the doctor was saying. And so I love my husband, but when it comes to relaying messages that doctors have told him, he's not very good at it. So I want to make sure that, you know, when our kids go to any doctors or anything like that, that I am purposely making sure that I hear the information, because I'm the one that does 95% of their care. So I want to make sure that, you know, that I'm not pushing them too hard to do something that their doctors don't think that they're ready to do, or encourage them to do things that their doctor wants them to do. Like when Abby first got the knee brace that she could bend with, she was still holding her leg out straight. She wouldn't bend it. So it was like a week of you know, encouraging her, like, you gotta bend, you're walking right now, I know you can't bend it to the full extent that you need to, but you gotta bend that knee, and things like that. So I try and make sure that, you know, we're following doctor's orders and things like that, because it's, you know, you don't want to harm your child or anything. You want them to get better. So, oh, there we go. So I always try and make sure that I can listen and hear and things like that. But yeah, she went to her appointment Tuesday. It is now Thursday, and I still have not gotten a call for scheduling her MRI and her next doctor's appointment, because they'll do all that over the phone, my husband said. And I wish he would have been like, no, let's schedule this now, because there's no need. We have some pretty good insurance. And like Damon with his CT scan, literally it took them like an hour and a half to get the authorization for the CT scan. And that was that. Like, we left Pittsburgh at like 3-something. I had a phone call from his doctor's office at 5:30, letting, like, with the authorization and all the information I needed and all the order and everything else that I needed to get his CT scan done. And so I'm not sure why it's been over 24 hours, 2 days now, that I haven't received a phone call to get this done. It's kind of pretty gosh darn upsetting and annoying, because this is something important, and if things aren't done right with this knee, like, it literally screws her up for the rest of her life. And I don't want a simple going outside and running around and falling turning into something that's going to hinder her for the rest of her life. That's kind of dumb. But it just kind of is what it is. But I'm hoping so much that it's just from in use, because it's been 3 months of her not really being able to use that leg. So I would assume in 3 months, like, that's a decent amount of time, but I feel like it's not enough time that it would, I don't know, I'm not a doctor, but I feel like it's not that much time that, you know, that tendon would go that mushy. Because he was like, it's like mashed potatoes. You know, like, there's no give into it at all. And that's, he's got, you know, he's pretty worried about it. But, yeah, so, I don't know what else to think about it. But I really don't want her, because she already has to have her eye surgery in June, which I have, that's already, like, her eye surgery and everything else is already, like, it's scheduled already. She'll go June 3rd for eye surgery. And it's like, this office, I'm not sure what's going on with his staff, but it's kind of insane that I can have these other offices, doctor's offices, do stuff that quickly, but this office seems like it's like it's not even the doctor himself. The doctor is an amazing doctor. Like, he is fantastic. It's just kind of like the staff don't have much structure or something. Like, they don't really care that this stuff is, like, affecting people's lives. And, you know, people don't want to take 600 years to get better, because this, like I said, her knee injury, the last time she had dislocated her kneecap, I mean, it was like a year and a half of going through everything, and we didn't have a single problem back then. He has all new staff now, but that was a year and a half of recovery and doing everything in the right way, so that way, you know, she would have one that it healed properly, and two, that it wouldn't, she had a less likely chance of it happening again. But unfortunately, it did happen again. So it's just kind of it's kind of frustrating that, you know, it's like by them scheduling this stuff and getting this stuff in, like I can see it now, like it's going to be like 2 years if she doesn't have to have surgery or anything of this, just because of negligence of not getting back. And I think like it's not even like they're short-staffed or anything. He's fully staffed. So like there's not a reason why this is taking that long. And it's kind of, it's not even kind of frustrating. Like it's really frustrating because, you know, it's my kid, and like at this point, I'm almost like, you know, I don't feel like she's getting, I don't want to say it's not adequate care, but it just feels like, well, if they don't care, why should I? I'll just go somewhere else and pay them the money that I'm forking out for this crap. And the only thing that's keeping me there is the simple fact that this doctor is really, really good, and he does care. And if I would have been able to actually speak to him, I would have let him know what is going on with his staff, because I know he would have corrected it immediately and been pretty upset about it. And it's just kind of frustrating because it's already going to be a long process for healing and things like that. And I just feel like it's the patient care on the staff's part isn't very good. But pretty much, if I don't have a call by after the New Year's for the MRI, I'm going to be calling this office, and I'm probably not going to be a very nice person. And I don't want to be a quote-unquote Karen, but at the same time, like, how long can you wait for before you're like, hey, like, you may not give a darn, but this is a almost 14-year-old girl who has her entire life ahead of her, and you just don't give a crap that the things you are doing has an effect on other people and their lives and the quality of their life. Because right now, like, you know, she's pretty sad that she can't, like, her friends and her like to go for walks, and just, you know, quite a lot of her friends live around here and stuff. So she likes to go and, like, they walk down to the park and play at the park and hang out, or, you know, go hang out at each other's houses and things like that. So, like, she can't do that stuff right now. And quite a few of her friends have come over here and hung out for a while and things like that. But it's just, you know, it's not the same when, especially for a teenager, when you're trapped inside your own house and you can't do all that kind of stuff. Tis me life. I'm ready for this day to be over already. I think I'm getting Vincent tonight, which technically I shouldn't get him until tomorrow, but I don't think that's happening. I think I will get him tonight because his dad is working first shift instead of second shift, so I don't know. I'll have to call my sister and find out what is going on there. Oh, and then Mr. Vincent. So I was working on that Bella Filipina Mermaids of the Season style, and I almost had it done. And then didn't Mr. Vincent decide to take my embroidery scissors that are hanging up here, and he pulled it down and cut into the fabric, and it's right near it's right near all the stitching. So I patched it up as good as I could, put Fairy Check on it so it would stop, you know, unraveling even more and all that other fun stuff. And it's just going to be one of those ones where it's going to have to be framed in a specific way, and one small part of it is going to be slightly different than the rest of it. But it is what it is. So we have now taken our scissors and moved them. So he can't do that anymore, because I'm not very happy with him. And he's never, like, he's always, like, messed with, like, my needle and thread. Like, I'll come back and he's just trying to do what I'm doing, that's all it is. But he would, you know, poke the needle, and then you guys can't even see what I'm doing because I'm a genius. Let's go like that. He would, you know, poke the needle through, and then pull it out the back, and then like be satisfied that he did something. So I might get some plastic canvas and plastic needles and stuff, and just let him sit with me and poke and stab at his, ooh, 1, 2. There's not a stitch there, Brittany. Let him do his thing. You know? I don't know. Let him have some fun. So maybe he'll leave mine alone if he can, you know, sit there and do his own. But again, he'll be 3 in January, so he's almost 3. But we will see. I'm gonna have to get rid of this needle because it's snagging on the thread here. What am I looking at here? I need to do 4, skip 2, and then 6. So yeah, Mr. Vinny decided to cut my project, and I didn't yell at him or anything, because I was just like, oh, of course it happened. I knew it would eventually. I don't know how well you guys can hear all the racket out there or not. Hopefully not too bad. But yep, that's pretty much been what's going on. It's not nothing real exciting or anything, but nothing bad either. Theo and Cammie go to the groomers tomorrow. So that'll be fun. And if I have Vincent on top of it, it'll be great. Not really. I hate how close a lot of these symbols in this pattern are. It makes it difficult to make sure that you're stitching the right ones. You really got to pay attention. Well, it was the same thing with that Bella Filipina Mermaid of the Season style. There were quite a few symbols that looked alike. And a couple people accidentally stitched the same one with the wrong ones. I just the printer I have only prints in black and white. We didn't get a colored one, and I want to switch it. I want to get a new one, but we paid like, I forget, a ridiculous amount of money for this, because it used toner, not ink, and stuff like that. I want to get one that does color now too, and they're like $500. And I think way back then when we bought this, it was probably around that much just to buy the black and white one. But way back then, I was like, you know, we only print out invoices for your work and coloring pages for the kids and stuff like that. Like, it's not a big deal. We don't have to have color. We'll be fine. Yeah, well, now I wish we would have just bought the one with color, because some of these patterns that I have that have colored symbols and things like that, it would be very useful to be able to print in color instead of black and white, and me having to switch between the PDF version and what I'm doing to be able to differentiate between what I'm doing. That's obnoxious. Maybe someday. Yeah, the kids get out of school 2 hours early today, so I keep looking up at the clock because it's almost 11 o'clock now. The kids, the high schoolers will get here about 1:20, and Lydia will get here about 2:10. So, it should be fun. Should be fun. And then the furnace is going to turn on again. And you guys are probably going to have a hard time hearing me. Of course, we love that ambient noise. I wouldn't even call that ambient noise. That's obnoxious noises. And that's another thing. Like, we haven't got a heating bill yet from... we have propane furnaces, but there's, because it's the company we use, set meters. Like, you have, you don't pay to fill up the tank, you only pay for what you use. So it, they're supposed to come once a month and read the meters, and here it is almost January and they haven't, I guess, read our meters yet, which they're supposed to do that once a month. So I don't know what the heck's going on there. My husband's probably gonna have to call and be like, hey, where's our bill? We need our bill, because you haven't billed us yet, and if you would like to have some money, then you need to bill us, because we don't pay to get the tank filled. We pay per usage, not you filling up the tank. So it's just one thing after another around here right now. Oh, crap. I don't know, I don't really have much to tell you guys because it's not that long ago that I talked to you, but I wanted to get this done so that way I don't have to be the mean mom and make everybody be quiet, or not have friends come over and stay, and because I need the quiet so I can record and things like that. So I'm just trying to get everything done beforehand. And we will see how it goes. And it is a skip one. I don't know, this has some pretty large swashes of color. And I'm starting to wonder if it says it only calls for one skein, but I have a feeling I'm going to need more than one skein. So that'll be interesting if I do. But yeah, I went and all the projects I finished, I put away their threads that were on floss drops, did that. Did my whip parade. That was a giant stinking mess. And all I hear is them pounding out there. Just a bunch of stuff I gotta do today. I already cleaned my house, got that all done, got everything swept, everything vacuumed, everything mopped, all the dust done, got everything like that finished. Not much left to do. That's just so that way Saturday when I go to do my big chores and things like that, it's not... There's still a lot I gotta do, but not as much as normal. Gosh, that's annoying. That loud banging noises. But this one is for me. I'm gonna get this one, I'm gonna frame this one, hang it up in my living room because she's pretty. And it sort of matches my living room as in the sense of like the colors in here are blue, white, gray, and green. Double check this here. Yep. So it will match in this living room. And there's a couple more Mirabilias that I've done that they don't necessarily match in here. And to be honest with you, I'm not sure if I really care anymore that they match. As long as the frames match. We have silver frames in here. As long as they're in a silver frame, I don't think I really will give a darn. So I might go ahead and just frame some for myself and hang them up in different places, and then, you know, switch them out every once in a while with other pieces, things like that, instead of, you know, always having to have the same things hung up. There's so much stuff I need to FFO, but I honestly just don't have the darn time. that was forced to go in there, and then I had to pull it out and try again. I never try and force things down the hole. It should slip in real easy. That's always my motto. Don't force it. Because whenever you force it like that, it usually catches other threads. And it's not actually going down in the, well, it's going down in the hole, but you're catching a bunch of threads while you're doing it. And I try not to catch other threads. However, I think this is where I'm going to end it here. And you guys can enjoy a few minutes. I think it's a 10-minute long video of Abby's choir. And you guys can enjoy that. And have fun with all that stuff. So, I will see you guys next week. Bye.
Thank you very much. The group behind me is the junior high choir. They've been working very hard since they came to me in September for our concert for you. We have 4 pieces. The next piece is called My Winter Wish, and they just learned this 2 weeks ago. So I'm very proud of the effort they were able to put into the piece, and they're doing very well at it. I'm not going to speak to you very much. You came to hear them sing, not me talk. So they will have 4 pieces for you. We will switch over to the high school choir, who will have 4 pieces for you, and then you'll hear from me again. Enjoy.
She fully dislocated her kneecap and then fell Friday, and now she's getting an MRI this
Okay, last one.